None of it.
Not gonna remember a darn thing.
Are you coming?
None of it.
I do work Sunday, so I can't go.
We
Well,
might-
I'll
we
probably
might-
still
we
go
might.
pretty hard, but I
Please.
can't
I'm
go.
going salmon fishing.
Send me
on
the
Sunday.
address.
So we'll go.
Even though my salmon pole just got stolen.
we'll go equally semi as hard. I'm sorry about that, man.
It's all right. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, man. Here we are again. Welcome back to the Infinite Variety Show. I'm Cameron, and with me I have my good friends, Evan, Eddie, and Ronnie. How you boys doing?
So good.
Keeping it spooky for October?
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Been
spooky.
really spooky.
That's good.
Creeping.
I wanted to bring something up really quick. Do you guys have anything planned for actual Halloween? Because that's next Wednesday.
Probably not.
Okay. I know some people do, some
I didn't
people
even
don't.
know what day it was.
It's Halloween.
Hello.
Halloween's on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday this year, so. Man, we good to stream?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. As scheduled. And speaking of Halloween, we are doing Spooktober-themed questions all this month. I have one for you. But first, an ancillary question. Did you guys ever have like a haunted house in your city growing up?
Ooh, great question.
Like an actual haunted house?
One
or-
that people said were haunted.
So we're not talking about like, oh, it's spooky haunted house that you come and it's like.
Oh, no,
set
no,
up.
no, no. Not
Like an
like one of
actual
those.
haunted
Like an
house.
actual a house that people actually thought were haunted.
Oh man.
I don't think so. I can't recall one.
Well, you guys kind of grew up more of a smaller town vibe like
Yeah.
I did. But Evan,
Yeah.
being in Vancouver, I feel like it's a different scenario for you because it's like suburban living, you know?
Well, what do you mean by growing up? Because I was in Olympia and California also.
Well, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
so
Well,
I
do you
kinda
remember any
bounced around
haunted
a lot.
houses?
Haunted.
I think as far as I would go, without going any further, would be going by certain houses that I don't know, like people
Like
would
dilapidated.
just like
Yeah.
kind of broken down. Like people would say things about it, like did you know who used to live there or stuff like that. But it's just very vague, like
You know who used to
vague memories.
A
My aunt.
serial killer.
She was fine.
My aunt, she was a killer, dude.
I thought you were gonna say it was haunted. No, she was a nice lady. That's it.
Ronnie, you? No, but no haunted houses?
They're
What a bummer.
not off the top of my head.
Man, it's weird. I wonder if people are just more superstitious in the South because I had several houses that people claimed to be haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was,
Near
there
you?
was
I can
this.
see
Yeah, near me.
I feel like there's a
Well,
house
one
on
in my
Parrot Street.
neighborhood, and there was one more notorious one in town. And then the next city over, there was a cemetery where people from town would go every night to see this ghost of this little boy.
Huh.
I went one time with people who saw the ghost, and I never saw the ghost. So,
Did they say that they
but
saw
I don't
it?
believe in ghosts. Yeah, yeah.
Even when you were there, they're
Yeah.
like, he's right there.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
think
like,
ghosts. I think ghosts are just a thing in your mind, but
Could be.
Do you guys believe in ghosts? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix
Oh.
recently. Don't even get me
Ghost
started.
talk.
That's a whole rabbit hole of stuff to go down on Netflix.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I believe specifically there is a certain point in between life and death where when someone passes away, weird stuff will happen, and I think it's in relation to that of them passing. This sounds really strange,
Yeah.
but like that's the best way I can put it right now. So like
What I would
getting like tapped on the shoulder and there's like nothing there.
Whoa.
And then it just never happens after like
Oh.
a certain amount of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So I feel like there's a gray area
yeah.
in between.
No, I had an experience like that where I used to live actually in Vancouver, and I was laying down in my room and I had the actual so I was sleeping and then I woke up and I was kind of adjusting and then all of a sudden the pillow underneath my head got dragged like out from under my head. And the weirdest thing was that in any other circumstance I would have freaked out and been like, "Oh my god." But I just laid there and was like, that was weird. Like I couldn't explain it, but I wasn't scared. I just knew that it happened and I was like, okay, something just pulled my pillow out from underneath my head, like literally yanked it.
That's burning the house down, dude. I'm done. It's over.
It's bringing out the holy water and
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
I don't know. I've never had an experience like that, nor seen, a ghostly, ghastly figure. So I don't know. I don't believe. But yeah, there was a few places that were haunted, and there was this one specifically that was way out in the woods, and I think that adds a little bit of scare factor.
Yeah.
Right? When it's way out in the woods, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
If you're there, you can't escape easily to somewhere else. But
It's the isolation of it, too.
I say all that to say this: how much money would it take for you to spend a night in a dilapidated, abandoned house that is rumored to be haunted?
Oh, my
Like,
God.
How haunted are we talking? Like,
Rumored. So you don't really know if it is rumored. You haven't personally experienced anything in that house. You just know other people say that shit goes down.
but I'm saying there's like a difference between like saying, "Oh, it's haunted," and being like, "This was like an ancient burial ground," or like some crazy. Like,
What if there is I mean, there could be a story.
I guess just what is the extreme of it? Like, is it like, oh, it's just like someone died there, or it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to.
Okay, that somebody died there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody was murdered there.
Somebody
An
was murdered
abandoned,
there.
dilapidated house that someone was murdered in that the locals claim is haunted. How much money?
I guess the lowest I would go is 150.
$150?
Yeah.
$1,000.
But like,
Wait, just $150?
well, hopefully they would give me more,
Bob, I'd
right?
like to
but
bet
like,
150, please.
if I was like,
But that's your lowest.
yeah, that's as low as I would go.
I just think, like, what if it was a
Wow,
serial killer, though, and he's, like, paying people money to
yeah.
go in there. He's like, you're next.
well, if that's part of it.
That's a
If
good
that's part
deal.
of it, then no.
What is your life worth at this point? $150?
So
Yeah,
you
I'll
would
go in there.
stay in a haunted house for $150.
I mean, it's not really haunted.
This,
Well,
it
I mean,
is
yeah.
rumored.
I mean, to your point, if you don't believe in
But-
ghosts, it makes it a lot easier.
I would probably be scared the whole time, but like,
Yeah.
But 150, I didn't think we'd hear a number that low.
I would do it for a lot more.
What's your number?
500.
500, really?
Let's say 500.
Evan?
In my
That's high
imagination, I picture this scenario going something like this. The person who is telling me this, quote, knows the house is haunted, right? They're willing to pay me money to go there to experience it. So that alone would make me feel kind of like, oh, okay, they're going to actually pay me money to
That's
experience
true.
something? Like, there might be something there. Why would you pay somebody money as a practical joke? Like, it's a really stupid, pricey joke.
Especially if they're being pretty serious about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll pay you money.
So I'd be
You
like,
have to stay in this house.
okay, if you're gonna waste my time and this is a joke, $1,000. If it's real, $1,000.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were gonna say a lot higher numbers. I feel like a
No,
I feel like
I'm
a
cheap,
wimp
dude.
now. I was gonna say 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
That's
I was gonna say
That's what I
1,000
said.
at a certain point,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't know. 500 seems reasonable.
You could do a lot with 500.
I think
Yeah.
if somebody's trying to set you up to do it,
Mhm.
like, or they, so it depends on what the question is. If it's just like, hey, stay in this haunted house for like 150, I would do it. But I bet you somebody is like, their intentions, like, somebody's gonna be messing with you. Like, it's a person messing with you.
You don't have to read. Don't read that
And
into
I don't-
the question. It's just
If it's a practical
you
joke,
you
though.
aren't getting messed with. It's
Okay.
just you stay a night in the house.
No human interference. It's just maybe a ghosty. Or
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Little
or two.
spook.
Hey
Little
guys,
spook.
are my levels as high as everybody else's in your headphones?
That sounds great.
Mine are pretty quiet.
Check.
I can hear
I
it.
think all of
That's
ours are
great.
pretty quiet.
Yeah, they are.
than
But
what
I
we're used
sound
to.
lower than the other ones.
Hmm.
Anyway, somebody in the chat tell us how the audio sounds to you.
Let us know.
Please.
Well, yeah, I say 1,000, but
I would
and I
too.
don't even believe in ghosts. I don't know. If I can get some money out of somebody, shoot, I'm gonna get it.
I guess- I guess if they had a very detailed story about what happened, and they were like, "All right, you can stay. You have to stay in this house, and I'll pay you $1,000."
Mhm.
Or if they were to give me something pretty detailed like that, I would probably ask for more, because they obviously know a lot more about it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, "Oh, stay in this haunted house, I'll pay you for it," that'd be like, "Oh, whatever, 500." You know.
Yeah.
Who would do
I'll do
that? though?
300.
It-
300 now.
Like almost doesn't sound like they know
You know,
what happened.
to be honest with you, if I knew a house was spooked or something, I wouldn't pay somebody. I would drag that person in there and be like, look, you're going to see what I just saw. Like, I'm not paying you anything. Like, the experience alone will scare you
Remind
and
me
stick with you.
to never go to a haunted house with you.
I will
apparently.
drag you there.
If you do, it'll be real. It'll be for a real reason. I'll be like, look, if you make it out
Just drag me
alive,
to
that's
this
your
house.
payment. Your life tonight. If you make it out alive.
Your life, jeez.
Yeah. That just got
Jeez
real.
Louise.
Okay, here's another spooky question. If you were asked to direct a new horror film, what would be the plot? What would the plot be?
I don't really have an idea of specifically the plot,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I would want to do something close to the people, whoever's watching. If y'all have seen Mandy, the movie Mandy that just came out, It's a new Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, Nicolas
Mandy.
Cage. Oh, this is the one I heard about.
It's trippy. It's very, very trippy.
He takes revenge on.
Don't spoil it for people.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
the whole movie is shot. The cinematography in it is phenomenal, and it's just like the half the movie is just all cinematography shot, like just beautiful shots with just like beautiful lighting and all this crazy stuff, like almost like Drive-esque in that sense. And then the other half of the movie is just bonkers. It's just things just get out of control, and Nicolas Cage goes full Nick Cage.
Well, what would you do though?
I would do something similar. I would probably do something out of the normal. Like I feel like I would want to do something similar to that in the sense of like beautifully shot cinematography, but also have it be like a nonsense, like almost like borderline slasher horror movie. That's like the best way I can put it. That's like the one thing I could think of.
Is that what really kind of causes you to fear? Like when you're watching a movie, because everybody has like a specific type of movie that they're scared of. Like some people are scared of slasher films. Some people are scared of like poltergeist films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has a type. So is that like your type? Is like slasher, like serial killer type?
No, I just like the idea of how unique the approach is, where it's just like so out of the normal like style of horror movies, and it's just like it was just like so campy and just like so absurd, and it's just like what is happening? I like the idea of it being out of the normal horror movie style, where it's just like jump scares or like, oh, it's a spooky kid.
Oh man, their jump scares are in right now. Like I feel like that's every horror
When have they
movie's
not
jump
been?
Scares.
Huh?
When have they not been in?
Well, I mean, now they've like they have it to a science. So like every scene is like dead quiet, and then the music plays and the face shows up, and it's like I just saw The Nun recently, and like I feel like every scene was like the creature, the nun or whatever was like like freaking out. Yeah, kind of takes away from it. It's not real.
Well, Evan, what would your horror movie be about? If given the chance to direct one yourself.
I think it would have to be. It would pertain to like a big fear of mine. So it would have to do with like.
High tax rates?
So obviously
High cholesterol. Oh.
get your tax return back and you owe money. Oh my god, I'm in debt. Yeah,
that is scary.
The IRS comes to your door dressed in a anyways, no, it's a bad idea.
Well, tell us.
So it would have to be it would have to be so something similar to The Wicker Man. I don't know, it's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Wow,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
But what got me though was because
Friend of the show, Nick Cage.
there's an isolation aspect to it. They're on an island, right? So you're isolated. That's kind of a scary feeling. You're like with people that you don't know, and they're all acting strange, but at the same time there's some sort of weird religious cult going on. So I think that I would have to want to put that into the movie, like somebody who is alone, stranded, having to face off against a group of people that are doing something very like you don't know who to trust, that kind of a thing. So I think that's probably where I would go with it, because I feel like that's super scary. The Wicker Man wasn't that scary, not like a super good movie, but the idea was great.
Not the bees.
No, not the bees. That was terrible. That was pretty bad.
Ronnie, what would your horror movie be about?
Ooh.
They're not gonna bring back your
This
honey.
is not my genre. I usually don't watch.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Why's the light red?
We're good. It means
Oh, we're
it's
good?
recording.
Yeah, this is not a genre that I watch or partake in watching very much. But off the top of my head, I don't really know what I would do.
Good answer, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move right past that. Thanks for your valuable input. No, it's okay. It's a hard question to come up with off the top of your head. Do you guys watch Black Mirror?
I've seen a handful of episodes.
What? Remind me again. Is that one with all the different episodes about futuristic scenarios?
Most of them are future related, if not all of them. Yeah. But there's one episode in particular that people talked about online, and me, as not a fan of scary movies, what I don't like in a scary movie is pretty much gore and rape. You know, gore and rape is pretty prominent throughout horror movies, so I'll try to stay away from those. But I like a good psychological thriller, and I've enjoyed several episodes of Black Mirror, so I thought I could handle that episode Alligator, and it wasn't that bad. But you should go back and watch it. But the premise is that we have technology now that can plug up to your brain and recall memories with exact detail.
Oh, that episode was that was called Alligator.
Yeah. So
Don't remember why. I don't remember.
I think if I were to direct a horror movie, it would be something involving either like a neural implant that allowed people, and I thought about this not in a horror sense, but before today, but if people got like a neural implant, right, that served a lot of good in the world. Like if you had this implant, there were a lot of benefits in society, but there are also malicious uses for it. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking one time, how weird would it be if like most people on Earth have some sort of gene or neurotransmitter that people can pick up, and when you like walk through security at a football game, you walk through this brain scanner and it knows if you have any ill intent. But there would also be a segment of the population, a very small one, who didn't have that gene and minds couldn't be read, and either that portion of society could like, you know, be the heroes of this movie or be the bad guys. I don't know, but it'd be kind of dystopian, futuristic. I don't know if it's horror-y. It'd be a scary like thriller movie, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But it kind of falls in the same realm.
Side note. I had I was talking to somebody who had done a lot of research on this, and Netflix and other people that like stream TV shows and stuff. They have a board like where they go and they like basically like they fantasize and they say, okay, well, if we could invent anything, what would we come up with? So one thing that they really want to get into is a pill that you take before you go to sleep. And in this pill, it has like certain chemicals and stuff and all this different like memory or whatever. I don't know. It's something weird. But you take it and then you dream whatever it is they put into that pill.
Oh,
so
wow.
you could take the pill and then have a dream of basically like a movie or a show or whatever it is that they want you to think of in your sleep. How crazy would that be?
That scares me.
Right?
That's a little terrifying.
I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to even think about. Like,
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So we have a few things in the chat. Tanner Moss asks if any of you watched The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes. Oh,
did you watch it?
I'm watching it right now.
I know people online are saying that it's on Netflix, the series on Netflix, and people are saying it's like legit scary.
Oh yeah, no, it's real good though. It's real good. I don't know if it would be like.
I probably won't watch it because I don't like scary stuff that much.
No. It's more. It's actually what you would enjoy. It's more psychological thriller. Yeah, okay. It's definitely a thriller. There's no hack and slasher or anything like that. So.
And then Visteka Jesse asks, what are your favorite horror/scary games to play? Something that I haven't done before, but I know Eddie can probably speak at length to this.
Scary
maybe
games.
Evan and Ronnie.
What, video games?
Didn't you talk about a lot about BioShock?
Well, BioShock's more, it's not necessarily full-on horror. It's like, parts of it are very creepy. It's that idea of like, what if there was a dystopian, like, city built underwater and like it's gone, like it's basically fallen apart.
And so it's not explicitly a horror game.
No.
Do you have a favorite horror game or scary game?
The most recent one that I've played that was the best experience I've had was the new Resident Evil.
Oh
Resident
my
Evil 7.
God, Biohazard?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's really, really
well done.
So good.
That's my absolute favorite of all time.
I think the thing that balances it out really well is like the first half of the game is just like, I'm actually really scared right now. And then the other half is like, what is happening? Just very just like normal like Resident Evil Capcom stuff where it's just like so bonkers that you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And you're having fun.
It's so good.
What's your favorite, Evan?
Resident Evil Biohazard
of
all time. Yeah, I played that with my girlfriend and I was like, in the very first 5 minutes, I looked at her and I was like, look, like I'm scared right now, so I might bail. Like I don't know if I can keep playing. Like it's got me in the zone. Like I'm overthinking everything. But the storyline is so good that it hooks you, and even though you're scared, like you want to know what happens next.
It is really good.
So I could only play it when she was in the room with me. So I basically if the lights were out and she like left to go get a drink of water, I was like, quick pause, like, oh my God, come back! I can't keep going without you.
Have you played a scary game you like a lot, Ronnie?
Turok on the N64.
There you go.
You ever play that?
That's kind of spooky.
It's spooky for me.
That's not the answer I was expecting, but that's good. I like that. That's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a very good
And
game.
Josiah Shaddle wants to know. He said, "My mom wants to know why you're drinking Rainier beer."
Why?
That's because that is that is the beer brewed in Washington. It's our regional beer, and so we try to promote it.
I gotta say, it's
good.
It's delicious. I think
Yeah.
it's good.
Do we
I
have
think
a
it's really
beer
tasty.
connoisseur in our midst?
Maybe.
Huh.
Rainier, call us. We'd love to be sponsored. Thank you very much.
I would love to be sponsored by Rainier.
TIVSlive@gmail.com.
It's-
Address that to Cameron, please.
Shadle. Josiah Shadle.
Josiah
Or just personally
Oh, you
DM
know
me
who that
on
is?
Instagram.
Oh.
He's awesome.
Chateau.romani. I'll take sponsorship myself.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Mhm.
We rep the brand for sure. So let's break into a very unique segment, never before done on YouTube or on any other podcast ever in the history of the internet.
Dude, we're setting
Let's play a few rounds of Would You Rather.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Brand new,
I was
unique,
like, what?
groundbreaking idea. I know. Please, internet, hold your horses. I know that I'm a visionary. Just hold your applause, please.
I will say I've never heard of this game before ever.
You have not?
No,
I was about okay.
I've heard
That
of
one
it.
went right over my head. Whoosh, whoosh. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die? You can't change either.
that's terrible.
And chat, let me know what you think about this as well. Would you rather know how you're going to die or when you're going to die?
That's tough.
Oh,
I say how.
What? Oh,
for
God.
sure.
But
You know
what if it's generic, like a car wreck, and then that could happen
That's
at
fine.
any time in your life?
I think that would be a more productive.
Every time
You
you
could
get
lead a
into
more
a car,
productive
though,
life if you knew how but not when.
Yeah.
Because you do so many things,
It could-
If it's car wreck, you're like, okay, it's gonna happen one. But if you know when, then as it builds up to that, your life is wrecked with anxiety and ruin. You're ruined.
It could be
But even how though?
it
we
could
do that.
equally be as you could be equally as anxious about it, knowing how, to the point where you're like, this is how I'm gonna die. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never doing this again. And it could, in fact, like, this is getting really like in depth with it, but like this could in fact lead to
True.
your death because you're avoiding it so much or pushing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like.
Like if I found out I was gonna die drowning, I would be anxious about going fishing ever again, or floating the river, or
Exactly.
swimming.
But here's the
Yeah.
trippy
or
thought
taking
though.
baths.
So like let's say that it was drowning and you found that out. So you devoted your whole life to staying away from water. Would your fate change?
no,
I
you
don't
can't
think so.
change it.
You can't.
So somehow you'd have to forget and then end up by the water.
Or
And
water
then have-
finds you.
A puddle. You trip,
Water finds you.
Yeah.
smack your face in a puddle, and you
Waterboarding.
drown that way.
Water finds you.
Yeah.
I'd probably say when. I'd
When,
probably say
really?
Yeah.
Ronnie.
I think it's a crapshoot because what if if you die when you're 88? Like, I would rather know when. Like, oh, you're gonna die like January 12th
What if it's like
when you're 88 years old.
That's 2
October
days before my
25th,
birthday.
2019? You're like, God, I got a lot of living to do in the next year.
Dude,
Either way, that's a rough.
nachos for a full year, dude.
I'd probably win though.
True.
That's where you go.
I'm gonna see if I can
Nachos.
poison myself with food to beat that date. Okay, what did you say, Evan?
It would be how.
How, and what'd you say?
When?
When and
When.
when.
Sure, when.
Okay, so we're separated on sides of the table. Next question.
Alright. I'll tell you how, son.
I tried to pick some good ones. This is an interesting one. Would you rather be permanently transported 500 years into the past or to the future?
Oh my Lanta. Can you bring someone?
No.
Pass.
What year?
Hard pass.
Shoot.
You can't pass.
1500s.
If I can't bring Lori, then I'm not going anywhere.
Come on, play the game.
This is not a game. This is my life. I don't play games with my life, all right?
Apparently you do because
Pardon me, I'm
Say
gonna
it.
plug in our
Say it.
I'm gonna plug in
Say
our
it.
camera real quick.
Goodness
well,
sakes.
Cameron's doing that. I will probably say that I don't remember the question, and I'm thinking about it right now as we speak, trying to figure out as Cameron sits down and hoping that he'll tell me again because I'm blanking so hard right now.
500 years into
Would
the
you
future or
rather be
past?
transported
Thank you.
permanently
Oh my gosh.
500 years into the past or the future?
Future.
Oh, yeah.
Future.
Yeah.
There is part of me that wanted to say past, but
Well, okay, hold on. 500 years ago, let's think what was happening. Was it the Renaissance?
I'm not willing to think that
No.
hard.
So, when was the Renaissance?
In the 1500s, and I think it's 1642, Columbus sailed the ocean.
No,
blue.
1492.
That's what I said.
You said 16.
I know. But in the
Don't try to
1500s, like
sneak
right
past
here
that.
where we are right now, which I guess probably we should establish that it'd have to be here,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So 500 years ago, I would much prefer to be chilling with the Chinook Indian tribes and stuff like that. But my opinion is the future is unknown, and I don't know if I feel confident that the future looks good.
Right.
I don't know.
500 years into the future.
The future
So-
didn't really look too good in the past either, compared to what was
Sure
going
it
on at that
did.
time.
Right now we're like actively developing software that's going to be smarter than us one day.
I mean, if anything, traveling 500 years in the future would give you a reason to be like, I come from the future. I am a prophet. Everyone think you're crazy,
But the same about the past.
You can make a lot of money if you're
At
going
the
to
same
fast,
time,
yeah.
But
like with my
you yourself could say,
with my
I was
knowledge
in
of
heaven.
history, I still wouldn't know what to tell people. I'd be like, so look, like what's gonna happen to us? Honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen to you guys, but about 8,000 miles that way, some crazy stuff's about to go down in Europe. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Yeah.
if we could just take a boat or something over there real quick, I could show you some
Or it's
crazy
just-
stuff.
Or it's just like, what'd you do in the future while you were there? Oh, I bought a pack of gum and came back.
Yeah.
This is pretty nice. This is good gum.
It was good.
I think it'd be cool to try to talk to all the regional Indian tribes.
That would be
First
cool.
Nations tribes, and then get them all together in a super army to defend themselves better against the colonizers.
Yeah.
That I'm actually
then-
kind of on board with that.
And then hold on a
100%,
second.
actually.
But then the aldermans show up, and then suddenly you're facing off against your family.
Oh, they were in Massachusetts. They never came west.
But so you're not in Massachusetts in this fantasy?
No, we're right here in Oregon.
Oh, in Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Future still.
Future, okay.
Yeah,
And what'd
for
you say,
sure.
Ronnie?
I think I'll go future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eddie?
I'm
Back to
Even though I like the past and I would like to visit the past, but
I think I'm still on future.
Ronnie,
But
you're
that
so
idea,
Okay,
that
I'm gonna stand
idea,
alone.
that idea in itself, what you just said,
Pretty dope, huh?
I'm gonna say past. I'm gonna say past. I'm with you
There
on
you go,
that.
with me.
I like that. I
So
like
two
that a lot.
pasts, two futures. Here we go. Next question. Would you rather go back to age 5 knowing everything you know now, or know now everything you'll ever learn?
Say it again.
Would you rather go back to age 5 knowing everything you currently know, or would you rather know now everything you'll ever learn?
Oh gosh, that's so good.
well, when you go back to when you go back to
Good.
age 5, do you still have that? Do you like regain like young brain cells that like can enable you to learn more, or is it? Are you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, go back to 5 with everything
Mhm.
I know. You could really compound that. Like you'd be a genius by the. I think that's an interesting thought.
I think maybe age 5.
I don't like
This
that
question
idea.
might have. This is a little bit of poorly designed question. So if you're age 5 and you can speak like a normal adult, and you're like, Mom, I know you think I'm dependent on your taxes, but I really need you to sever that tie. People wouldn't take it seriously. But I think this question might be for older people, because let's just say age 13. That really wasn't a long time ago for us. It was 14 years ago.
That's 14 years.
Yeah. So
That's
would you rather go back to age 13 with everything you currently know, or would you rather know now everything you'll ever learn?
That totally changes the question.
The second one.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd rather know now everything you'll ever learn.
100%. I don't think I could relive being 13 again.
Oh,
That sounds
right,
awful.
right.
But
No,
it
that's
wouldn't
so
be the way it
true,
was.
though.
It would be with everything you know now.
But I mean,
Oh,
you'd
man,
still
but it
have
would
like
still-
growing up, going to school, all that jazz.
If you knew everything you knew now, you wouldn't have to go to school.
Oh, dude, to go back to
I
13.
mean, you would still probably have to.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be probably faster
Mm-hmm.
because you'd be like, oh, I already know all this.
But at 13, I'm glad I didn't know certain things. Like, I'm really glad. You know, like ignorance is bliss sometimes. Like when you're a kid, not knowing things sometimes really makes your life a whole lot easier.
It's true.
I think I would definitely go everything I'm going to know now, because I'm more of a kind of a present tense type person, I think.
Okay. And Ronnie, what'd you say?
I'd go back to 13. Knowing
Yeah.
what I know now.
I think I'd choose to know everything. I think I would choose to know everything now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
I
cool.
don't know. All right. This is a little bit of a throwaway question. I don't expect anybody to answer a certain way, but let's just test it out. Would you rather live the rest of your natural life in a believable virtual reality world where all your wishes could be granted, or live out your life in the real world?
Real world. Easy. I don't think I could live in a virtual life where everything's so predictable.
Ronnie and Evan are thinking about this.
Yeah, I would do real world.
It's like a perfect virtual reality world.
I know, but that's what scares me.
Yeah.
There's no...
Well,
I guess, I don't know, it's hard to... Like, there's no
It's the Matrix.
repercussions at that point with your actions. Everything's perfect.
Okay.
That's scary.
It is, I guess.
That's a little terrifying.
well, I
Ronnie,
mean,
what do you think?
The real world. Ed.
Yeah. Evan? Evan wants that VR life, boy. He wants to be Sword Art Online.
I think.
Are you talking like Ready Player One type
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the real world, because, I mean, how much do you really trust yourself? Like when we go after exactly what we want, and how many times that ends up failing or becoming something that we realize later that we really didn't want. You know what I mean? It could easily just get flipped on you. I think that some of the best things in my life have happened because I didn't know they were coming, because I didn't want them, and then they happened, and I didn't know I wanted them. I think that the best thing that's ever happened to me was something that I didn't know that I really wanted.
Interesting.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. I would also choose real world. Yeah. There's something about struggle. I think that's really important to like the human
Oh yeah.
That's deep.
experience.
That's really deep. I like that.
Mistakes are what help us improve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if there's no mistakes, how do we improve?
Right.
Very true. Be true.
That's virtually true.
Sick, bro.
We were talking today in our group chat, and Eddie brought up a pretty interesting point. We all play video games, but we haven't really talked about video games that much on the stream.
We're all gamers here, okay?
We're all
Big time.
gamers here, right?
Huh.
Are you guys playing anything currently that you want to talk about?
Eddie.
Well,
Oh, Eddie plays this league. Come on.
No, he's got,
Oh,
he branches
it's
out.
only like 75% of
He
what I
branches
play.
out.
80, 85, 90. I actually bought the new Black Ops.
Oh yeah.
Black Ops 4.
Have you been playing Blackout or?
I tested it out last night. I didn't play for very long. I'm gonna probably play tonight.
What is Blackout?
It's the new battle royale. It's like Fortnite. If I were to put like the most mainstream
Come
like
on,
example
say
of
PUBG.
it,
You could at least give it PUBG.
dude, I don't know. PUBG's like kind of
Now it looks like that, huh?
yeah.
Oof.
Blackout.
Well, like initially that game PUBG was like great, and then I
Mhm.
started playing more and more, and I was like, I don't really like this. I don't like Fortnite either. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
Fortnite's fun if you play with people, but by myself, I will never play that game by myself.
Yeah, it's so true.
Like it's, I don't.
Oh,
see
by
that.
the way, we said we were gonna squad up on some PS4 Fortnite.
Yeah,
Would
we
you
are.
do that?
we can still do. Like,
We
Yeah.
should.
I'd be
It'll
down
be
for
fun.
that. But the new Black Ops is actually pretty cool. I like it. I mean, multiplayer is pretty much the same thing, but they've added some new stuff that's actually pretty interesting. I'll just leave it at that. And then the Blackout is pretty rad too. Like it's actually like really fast paced. And I was watching. The whole reason I bought it is because I was watching someone play on Twitch.
Who? Name drop.
I have no idea. It was
Oh,
just some random person.
a
But they
rando?
had like 8,000 people watching. It was like one of the higher ones, and he was going in, like
Mhm.
going in, and it was like it looked really fun. And it was like really quick. Like everything was moving so fast. That was my biggest issue. Is like with Fortnite and Battlegrounds, PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
There's games where you just are spending the entire game just running, because you like drop off on a certain point and the circle's somewhere else.
Yep.
And so you spend like half an hour
Yeah.
running towards the circle. You see no one, or you know, you get there and then someone shoots you. And that's it. It was like, well, that was fun. And I feel like they kind of, it seems like, at least with the pace that they chose, it seems like they've kind of changed that, so you have to move a little bit faster, or like there's more people in certain spots, or the map is smaller, something. I've only played like a couple games, so I don't know too much. But it's cool. I think it's pretty rad.
Ronnie, you been playing any Overwatch?
I haven't in a long time.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't. I bought Spider-Man for $60.
Oh, that
and I
game
only
looks
played
awesome.
it like 3 times. It is fun, yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing. I bought the 30th anniversary Street Fighter collection.
Oh,
Playing some Third Strike on that. I've been playing that a lot. It's been pretty fun.
Xbox?
Switch, Nintendo Switch.
Oh, you have a Switch.